I think comparison to other people is fantastic. I think most people just do it wrong. You look at somebody else, you see their life, you see what they're doing, you see their business, you see their success, you see how old they are. Is one of the common questions people ask, well, how old are you? Well, typically it's because they want to judge their own progress against yours. The comparison can be great, but you have to use it as a kick forward instead of a kick down. Most people will kick themselves down. They realize that you haven't done much. You realize that you're not where you want to be. You realize all these other people have done it with maybe less resources than you, at an earlier age than you, and you feel like it's over and you can't do it. That's a kick down. It's a comparison, it's a kick down, and that's what most people do. And that's why there's so much advice out there from people saying, don't compare yourself to others. Because when we do it, we typically kick ourselves down. That's the wrong way to do it. The comparison to other people comes from knowing what's possible and being inspired to want to go off and do it. You know, I just came back from a trip with my beach gang, and it's some big name people. It's Brendan Burchard and Mel Robbins and Lewis Howes and Jay Shetty and all these big people who've done big things. And we sit around the table and we share and we help, and it's our own mastermind. It's not a paid thing. It's where they go and we all share. And as they're talking, as they're sharing what they're up to and what they're working towards, I'm thinking that's what's possible. That's what I could do if I wanted to. That's how they're doing their marketing. Okay, if I could do this, and maybe they're 3 years ahead of me, but by learning their strategies, I can get there in 6 months. The comparison pushes you forward. Runners run faster when there's somebody next to them. Businesses innovate faster when there's competition. Comparing yourself to who you were yesterday is not enough of a push forward. That's the problem. Comparing yourself to who you were yesterday is great for self-love, but it's not enough of a push. So I'd encourage you to start thinking about an audit for yourself right now. If you're really low, if there's no self-love, if you don't feel like anything is possible, that's where you look back and you look at the progress. That's when you look back and say, where was I 5 years ago? Where was I 10 years ago? Look at how much you've grown and learned and improved, and how much in a better situation you are compared to where you used to be. Even if it's not financially, just mindset, just mentally, just the kind of person you are, how you treat people, you've probably grown. If you're watching this channel, it means you're into personal growth, self-development. So whether it's from my videos or somebody else's content, you've been learning and growing over the past 5 years. You've grown a lot. You're not the same person you used to be. You're a lot more proud of yourself than who you used to be. And whenever you're feeling low on yourself, that's when you look back and track the progress. That's when you look back and see who you used to be and how much you've grown and improved and gotten better. And that can start to fill you up again. But when you're ready for growth, when you're ready for ambition, when you're ready for the next level, I think the comparison is fantastic. I think to know that something is possible, it's the whole Roger Bannister 4-minute mile. Nobody thought it was possible. Then Roger Bannister did it, and now everybody's doing it. Not everybody, but a lot of people did it. Why? Because they were comparing themselves to him, because they know now that it's possible. And so when you see somebody else do it, when you see somebody else making amazing things, you don't have to default to say, I suck because they're doing it and I'm not. That's a kick down. You can choose to use it as inspiration to say, that's what's possible. And if she can do it, if he can do it, then so can I. And use that as the push to get you to the next level. At our beach gang last year, I got challenged a couple times. I got challenged by Brendan, I got challenged by Russell Brunson, I got challenged by a whole bunch of people. And I got challenged without people even talking to me sometimes, just by them sharing their story. I look at that and say, I want to do that. Not in the way that I suck and I can't do it, but no, in a year, I want to be there. In 2 years, I want to be there. In 5 years, I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be there. I look at young Les Brown, I think he's the greatest speaker of all time. I don't look at him and say, he's so much better than me. He's got this natural gift. I suck. I'm never going to do it. I look at him and I say, I want to be that good. That's what's possible. It's an inspiration to move forward. So how do you make it tactical? There's a couple things that I think would be helpful for you. One, look at some people who you respect, inside your industry or outside your industry. It's just something that you respect about them. Maybe it's me, maybe it's Jordan Peterson, maybe it's Oprah. Who are the people that you look up to and respect? What are the things, so two, what are the things about them then that you want to get better at? If you respect somebody, it's because they're ahead of you at something that you want to be good at. Maybe it's in their business, maybe it's in their speaking, maybe it's in their relationships. They've done something or they're living a way that is ahead of you. So what is that thing? Two, what is that thing? What is the thing that they have that you are aspiring to get better at? There's no one person who is the ideal mentor. You don't want to be me. You don't want to be Jordan Peterson. You don't want to be Oprah. I have parts of my life that you don't want. The whole point is to take different pieces from different people to make the best you. You want to, for me, I want to be a visionary like Steve Jobs. That's why he's on my wall. And I want to be a father like my father was. That's why he's on my wall. I don't want to be a father like Steve Jobs was, and I don't want to be a visionary like my dad. Because they're not. So you're taking different people and different things from them to help you become the best you. So one is you're making a list of all the people that you look up to, that you respect, that there's something about them that you gravitate towards. Two, you find that specific thing. I want to have courage like this person. I want to have love like this person. I want to be a husband or a wife like this person, right? I want to be a mother or father like this person. That they're the ideal to shoot towards, that improve you, to make you want to strive to get better. And then three, you dive into their story. You dive into their content. You dive into their videos, their books, their podcasts, their biographies. You dive into them on a consistent basis. Watching one video is not enough. It's a consistent basis to help you start to think like that. Somebody asked me yesterday, why do you read so many books at a time? I read 7 to 10 books at a time. I never really thought about why I do it. It just seemed to work for me. But as I dissect it, I love microdosing on books. I love microdosing on content. Because think about what happens when you read a book. So one of the books I'm reading right now is Jay Shetty's Think Like a Monk. So when you're reading Jay Shetty's book, it forces you to start thinking like a monk. It forces you to have more presence and more gratitude and more mindfulness. And if you're going to read some hardcore, another book I'm reading is 75 Hard from Andy Frisella, which is in your face, hardcore, punching you in the stomach, yelling at you, let's go. two totally different vibes. I like both. I don't want to be Jay Shetty. I don't want to be Andy Frisella. But I like the mindfulness and presence of Jay Shetty, and I like the aggressiveness and push of Andy Frisella, and in that combination is Evan Carmichael. So why I read 7 to 10 books at a time is because the microdosing of the books, when you're reading a book, if I only read Jay Shetty's book, I become very mindful, very grateful, very present, and then I put the book down and I pick up a different book, and then what you start to do is lose the train of thought. You lose the thing that you learned from Jay, unless you're picking up another Jay Shetty book, but he's only got one out right now. So instead of going hardcore and just reading one book, I like having Jay Shetty once a week. I like having Andy Frisella once a week. I like in the videos that I make to have different people. We have Jordan Peterson once a month, and Elon Musk once a month, and Oprah once a month. Because diving deep on one person can be great, but what happens on the ongoing? I'm much more concerned about the ongoing than I am about what's happening intense at the moment. Because the ongoing is how you win. If you want to have success in anything, going to the gym and working out for 4 hours is not going to do much for you. But if you go to the gym every day for half an hour, you start to see results. So all of that, a bunch of stories in there, but the main concept is, I think comparison is fantastic. You just have to use it smartly. When you look at somebody else, understand that you don't want their entire life. You don't want their entire life, but there's something about them that they're better than you at, and use that as inspiration for you to get better instead of you telling yourself that you suck and you can't do it. Comparison will push you forward. Comparison will help you get the life that you want, as long as you're kicking yourself forward, not down.
If you want another Evan rant video that just might give you the confidence you need, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
There are 3 simple ways to get to the root of who you are. 3 simple ways that I wrote an entire book on called Built to Serve, but I want to dive through them with you today because it's really, really important.